Once you are logged into the server, you'll notice the interface is not the most inviting thing to look at. This is not an iOS app or an interface for a game console. A common misconception is that because Perforce is a professional tool, anybody should be able to use it. But in actuality, Perforce is a tool that is used by professionals, so it's important to take the time to understand how it works and all of the features available. First up are the Depot and the Workspace tabs. Very important to understand the difference between the two. We've already talked about how a workspace is just a folder on your computer. There you can see the folder of that file path. So make sure you have your workspace selected here in this drop-down menu. And then alternatively is the Depot. So the Helix server stores files in shared repositories called depots. Depots contain every single revision of every file under Perforce under their control. So Perforce organizes files in the depot like a large hard drive. Everyone will be able to see the same thing when looking at the depot. So everybody should be able to see this same structure when you first log into the server. So for this month, we'll be working in the IND folder. And then each month that you go further, you'll get access to more and more courses, and your depot view will start to grow. Alright, so when we're looking through the Workspace tab, when we're looking in this tab right here, we're looking at our actual computer. So keep that in mind going forward. Alright, so next up, let's talk about the actions. So across the top here, these action buttons are one way that you can utilize the actions in Perforce. Also, you can see the actions drop-down menu also has a list of available actions for you to utilize. And then as well as right-clicking on any folder or any file will give you a list of actions. So there's a lot of ways to accomplish the same thing when you're using Perforce. I highly recommend always right-clicking on the file that you want or the folder that you want to perform the action on, and then doing it from there. Because Perforce is a selection-based tool. If I select this folder and hit Get Latest Revision, it will get the latest revision of that folder. If I click on the depot and click Get Latest Revision, it's going to get the latest revision of the entire depot. So just make sure you're aware of what you're selecting before your action has been performed or is about to be utilized. So on the right hand side of the screen over here, you'll see a few different tabs. So the files and the pending tab, as well as you might see your history over here. So if these are closed, if these tabs are not available to you, you can get to them through the view window or the view tab. This will open up any window that you do not have open currently. So I recommend while you're working with Perforce having the history open, having your pending change list open, and you can, if you like, have the files and folder open. Not as commonly used, but definitely can come in handy. So have these windows open to you, and if you're clicking on view and they're not appearing, it might be snapped off to the side. So you can hover over right where the window is separated, and you see the two arrows pointing left and right, and you can snap that off to the side of the screen. So now if I try to go to view history, you'll see nothing's popping up. I go to view pending change lists and nothing's actually popping up. That's because they're snapped off to the side. So I can just hover my mouse on the right and then drag them back over to get those tabs available to me. Down at the bottom is your log. So think of the log as similarly to the console in Unity or in any other game engine. It will print out any errors when you run into an error. It'll also update you every single time an action is performed. This window is also snappable down at the bottom, so keep that in mind. And if it's ever closed, you can always again open it through the View Log tab there. Most of these drop-down menus are pretty self-explanatory. File and Edit we don't really use too often. View and Actions definitely get a lot of use, as well as if you ever need to change your password from what you've already set it to, you can do so under Connection Change Password.